You want to start scanning? Hi, good evening. My name is Michael Paulsen, and tonight I'm going to be talking about why I believe that both police officers and police cars should have cameras on them at all times. Police officers wearing the actual body cameras, and the police cars having the cameras available. Some of the reasons to have cameras are it avoids all speculation when it comes to he said, she said stories, different witnesses using different stories. It just avoids all speculation. You can show all the evidence is right there on the camera. It helps establish charges against individuals if you need to. It's just another way for prosecutors to be able to use their to institute their charges. It holds police officers accountable for their actions. If they know that they're constantly being monitored and recorded, then some people might like to have little power goes to their head. It kind of keeps them in check a little bit. And it's also used for officer safety. I know everybody's seen the video where a young police officer was shot at when a guy pulled a weapon out of his truck. It helps kind of catch that individual after they were done, but it's a lot for safety. One of the main cases that everybody knows about was Michael Brown and Officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson, Missouri. On August 9, 2014, Michael Brown was suspected of robbing a convenience store and assaulting the clerk. The Officer Wilson noticed the individuals, both Michael Brown and his friend, walking down the street. He was going to stop them for another reason, thought they looked like the suspects that they were told about. When he confronted them, there was an argument, and Michael Brown allegedly reached through the window of the police car and tried to assault Officer Wilson, and at that point a shot was fired. Michael Brown and his friend both tried to flee the scene with Officer Wilson in pursuit, and Brown allegedly turned around and charged him. At that point, Officer Wilson fired off 12 shots, ended up killing Michael Brown. Michael Brown was unarmed at the time. There was no video evidence, there was no body camera, and there was no camera in the vehicle which could say either way exactly what happened. There were witness stories that conflicted, and also Michael Brown's friend stated that Brown was going away with his hands in the air. That all could have been avoided if cameras were actually available. On November 24, 2014, the grand jury decided that they would not indict Officer Wilson, in which riots ensued, which had 2 police cars and 6 businesses burned up that night, which once again could have all been avoided if there had been actual video evidence. In Rialto, California, starting in 2012, they instituted a program for officers wearing body cameras. Over the past 3 years, according to TheGuardian.com, complaints against that department dropped by 88%, and incidents where police using force dropped by 60%, which that's actually pretty significant when people know that they are being recorded, so that helps both the individuals or the civilians as well as the law enforcement officers know that they're constantly being recorded. Locations such as Albuquerque, New Mexico, Fort Worth, Texas, and Oakland, California have all started a voluntary program to have the officers wearing cameras, and with that information that they had from there, it's also spread to England and Wales about wearing body cameras. Each camera runs roughly $1,000 a piece, and once the incident's done, the officer can go and update an app on their phone, which will go ahead and log that video there, so it's accessible from the department. A couple of the issues with this, the biggest one is people are saying it's unconstitutional for having the officers are saying that they're constantly being recorded, as well as civilians saying that it's unconstitutional that they're always being recorded no matter what. And San Diego has actually said that their videos from their body cameras are not accessible as evidence in court cases. And they also refuse to hand out the videos to news agencies or the public to view. Another issue with the cameras is they're not always on. In New Orleans, they found that in 34% of the cases that involved use of force, the cameras were on. That was it, out of everybody always wanting them. Vehicle cameras, they started in the roughly 1980s, mainly for officer safety, agency accountability, and to help with prosecutions. According to policechiefmagazine.org, it gained $21 million worth of grants from the United States Department of Justice from 1994 to 2004. So a lot of money once they started seeing that these things do help. The car cameras have actually, the number of cameras has increased significantly over the past 15 years. In conclusion, I believe it's really important to have the cameras, both on the person and in the vehicles. We said it stops incidents from happening. Civilians know that they're being recorded, so whatever they do, they're going to be held accountable, as well as the officers. It gets rid of all speculation, so no back and forth stories. A lot of issues can be resolved, and that's why I believe that all police cars and officers should have cameras on them at all times. Thank you.